So I just finished high school, and truthfully there were so many things that I wish I knew from the beginning. So today I thought it would be a good idea to make a whole entire video of 10 things that I wish I knew in the beginning of high school. So that way if you're still in school, you can make sure to keep these things in mind, because me personally, I barely found out about this stuff at the end of high school. So I definitely want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the video. The first thing I wish I knew is sticking to one style is so boring. Now, me personally, when I first got into men's fashion, I pretty much wore like the same exact thing on a daily basis. Now, of course, it wasn't like the same shirt every single day. What I mean by this is literally every day I would wear black jeans and a different neutral colored t-shirt. Now, once in a while, I'd switch it up with like a button down, or maybe I'll throw on some different type of jacket, but essentially it was like the same thing every single day. And I can tell you, I got bored of it so fast. And the whole reasoning behind this is because I didn't want to experiment with anything else because I thought it wouldn't look good on me, especially like the whole oversized thing that was going on. I didn't think it would look good on me because I'm more of a shorter guy, so I never wanted to experiment with the oversized trend. I never wanted to experiment with graphic tees or anything like that. I remember I was watching the main style YouTubers, which is like Teaching Men's Fashion, Alex Costa, people like that, and I would dress how they would dress and nothing more. So pretty much where I'm going with this is that you should always be switching up your style. You don't have to stick to the same thing every single day, because I still do dress like that, you know, like black jeans, a plain shirt, and that's it. But on other days, I would dress something like an oversized graphic t-shirt with some shorts. It's always good to play around with something new and try new things. And of course, you never know what's gonna look good on you unless you try it yourself. The next thing I wish I knew was how important buying the right clothes are. Now, the thing is, you're gonna be dressing different for different occasions now, which is pretty much what I mentioned earlier. Instead of sticking to one thing, you're always gonna be having different occasions, so you should be ready for those occasions, which I think is really important in this fashion, is looking good no matter which occasion you're going for. So that's why, me personally, I think it's very important to have some more formal clothes, like maybe a long sleeve polo, a button down, anything like that. So in case you do go into a more formal event, you're going to be ready for that and you're going to look good. Or maybe you're just going to go kick it with a few friends. You're going to want some like graphic tees, a pair of shorts, so that way you look good on that occasion, because I promise you, you should be ready for any occasion. And this is what's really going to make you stand out from other people, because a lot of people don't dress for the right occasions, which ties into the next tip that I'm going to be giving you, is shopping at the right places. Now, again, a huge mistake that I used to make in the past is only shopping in the same few stores. But me personally, I have learned that it's really good to experiment with different stores. Now, when I used to dress really plain, I used to only shop from H&M, Uniqlo, and Nordstrom. These three places were my go-to places, and I would never go to anywhere else. And that's because that's where I would pick up my plain essential clothing. But now that I realize there are so many stores that sell a bunch of different clothes, for example, Urban Outfitters is a perfect place to pick up some graphic tees from, or even something like Paxton that sells some more trendy pieces. Once I started experimenting with different clothes, I realized that I could have a bunch of different aesthetics, and that way I was always ready for different occasions. So these last two tips definitely do tie into each other, so that's why I think they're very important. And as of right now, if you're only sticking to one aesthetic, or maybe you're just shopping at the same few stores, definitely switch it up. I promise you, it's going to help you a lot. And like I mentioned earlier, Paxton and Urban Outfitters definitely do focus on more trendy pieces, but the next tip that I'm going to give you is don't follow every single trend. Now, don't get me wrong, I love experimenting with trends. I always think that it's good to experiment with new things, and me personally, I definitely do think it's pretty important to stick to some trends. However, if a trend doesn't look good on you, you do not have to follow it. And the whole reason behind this is because, me personally, style should definitely be just about your confidence. Now, you should only wear things that are going to make you feel more confident and things that you're more comfortable in. And you cannot be confident if you do not like what you're wearing, and if it's a certain trend that you're forcing yourself to wear, that completely goes against the whole point of men's style and this channel, of course. So if you tried the oversized thing and you don't like it, right there, you experimented with it, you realize that you don't like it, so just forget about it at this point. No matter what trend comes, you don't have to follow every single one, which ties into the next tip, which is going to be dressing for other people's validation. Now, me personally, I had a huge fear of being judged. I used to not wear certain things because I thought other people were going to judge me. As you grow as a person and as your confidence grows, you realize that you shouldn't be dressing for other people's validation just because other people's opinions do not matter at all. Now, this is something that's kind of hard to realize, because if you're like me, it's going to be in the back of your head. Because I remember I really wanted to wear boots to school. I really wanted to dress a little bit more formal, but I thought a lot of people were going to judge me and think that I was weird. I cannot tell you how much that I regret not only not wearing those boots that I wanted, but also the fact that I used to care so much about other people's opinion. This was a huge mistake. And if this is something that you're struggling with, I totally understand. I used to always hate that people would say, just don't care about what others think, and then that's that. Again, this is something that you're going to build over time. As you build your confidence, you're going to start to care less about what other people think about you, which is the whole point of men's style, like I keep saying. The next tip is something that I literally just realized, and I couldn't even put to words until I saw a comment on my channel, and that is going to be building a collection. Now, it is very important to build a collection. Now, it doesn't really matter what type of collection it is, because I do realize that everyone has a different favorite piece in men's fashion. Now, me personally, I have been liking jewelry a lot lately, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is building a huge collection surrounding jewelry. But on the other hand, let's say you like shoes more than anything in men's fashion, you should definitely be focusing on building a better shoe collection. Now, the whole reason behind this is because, like I said, everyone has a different favorite piece, and when you have a favorite piece, it just makes sense to build an entire collection. So that way you're proud to show something off when it comes to men's fashion, and this also makes you more unique and sets you out from other people. Because if you do have a huge jewelry collection, people are going to notice that, and they're going to think that you have a really good style, and this is also going to be a really good conversation starter for those of you who do want to build a better kind of social life, because I do get that it is hard for some people to start talking to more people, and if this is one of your goals, this is a good way to start. If you have a good shoe collection and people are constantly talking about your shoes, you're going to start to talk to those people more, or maybe even vice versa, that you notice other people have really nice shoes that you're interested in, you can start talking to them more. Just like that, you're building a better social life, which I promise you is going to make you a lot more confident. The next style tip that I learned in high school is going to be different fitting. Now, this is something that I talked about a little bit earlier, but more specifically when I talk about different fits, I'm talking about oversized shirts or slim shirts, or vice versa, or maybe even with pants that goes with slim pants or baggy pants. Now, the reason why I'm saying experimenting with different types of fits is because you never know what you like, and you're never going to know unless you try it out. Something that I mentioned earlier, and this is something that I try to mention quite often because it's something that I really do believe in. You should always be experimenting with new things, and the easiest thing to start experimenting with are different types of fits. Now, baggy pants are definitely more popular right now more than anything, so if you're the kind of person that only likes slimmer clothing, definitely experiment with some more baggy fits, or maybe it doesn't even have to do with clothes at all. Also, another thing that I mean by fits is with accessories. So me personally, I definitely like my jewelry to hang a little bit lower, but I started seeing some more people that have like kind of like smaller pieces of jewelry that kind of go around like higher. This is something that I want to get into myself personally, or maybe even with hats. I know the fitted hats are very popular right now. If you only wear fitted hats right now, you should definitely experiment with something like that hats. Trust me, once you start to experiment with different things, you're going to realize that other things are going to look better on you. Maybe you're just going to develop a bigger liking for different things. So I definitely think you should start playing around with this, and I promise you, you're going to start liking it more. The next thing I wish I realized earlier is how important style inspiration is, and more specifically where to get style inspiration, because I get this question a lot: where do I get my style inspiration? And truthfully, the two places that I get them the most are from Instagram and TikTok. Now, when it comes to Instagram, I follow a few people that have really cool style that I personally like. Make sure you're following people with style that you personally like and that you see yourself wearing, because when this happens, you're going to get some more style inspiration from pieces that you already have, or maybe it's pieces that you want. One thing I really like to do is go back to those pictures, find a piece that I personally like, and then go out and shop for something very similar. Now, there are so many people with large followings on Instagram and TikTok that have really cool style, so just start looking for more people to follow, so that way you could get some more style inspiration, and definitely make sure to save those photos or videos. Now, you could either take screenshots of it, or you could save it into your Instagram bookmark. Just make sure that you're out looking for more style inspiration. Something else that I realized is brands. More specifically, I learned that brands aren't everything. Now, when I first got into men's fashion, there are 3 brands that I wanted to wear more than anything else, and that was going to be Guess, Tommy Hilfiger, and Calvin Klein. That's all I would shop for, and I ended up blowing through my money very easily. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like those brands and I still wear them here and there, but I did end up realizing that brands are not everything. Now, in fact, the $90 hoodie that you get from Tommy Hilfiger can be pretty much identical to a hoodie that only costs $30 without the logo. Most people say that you're paying for the brands, and this is something that is very true. So just watch out with brands that you wear. Again, you can definitely still wear the brands that you want to wear. However, make sure you don't make it your #1 priority. In fact, to this day, I still like the plain essential shirts rather than shirts that have branded logos on them. And the next thing that I wish I realized sooner is confidence. Again, this is something that I wish I built way more sooner, because as soon as I built my own confidence, I didn't seek validation from other people. I only did what I wanted to do, and I only wore wore what I wanted to wear. Now again, this is something that you can't really build overnight, unfortunately. This is something that does take a lot of time. Me personally, I noticed the biggest confidence increases when I got better style, when I started taking care of my skin, and I started doing my hair a lot more. These three things are definitely the main thing that started building my confidence. And in fact, these are the three main things that I talk about in this channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, definitely make sure to do that. I'm going to leave it right here. And if you want to see more videos about that, here are a few that I think would really help you out. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.